Morning, 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 morning. Welcome to another episode of Tie 2 4 Sports. I'm kind of running late today. Sorry about that. So let's go straight to the picks. We got Atlanta money line. The Lions -6.5. We got Cincinnati -6.5. The Colts money line. The Rams money line. Then we got the Eagles -2.5. The Cardinals -5.5. Vikings -2.5. Buffalo -9.5. Then we have the Jags money line over the Raiders. And then I got the BUCS over my Cowboys. Hey, we got to make a business decision, not emotional. So that's gonna be my NFL picks today. Going kind of fast. Actually, let me bring up the graphic for Instagram so I can show you guys what's going on in the league today. Uh, we got the Patriots facing off with those Buffalo Bills, so that's why I got that 9.5. Even though I feel like the Patriots are kind of fighting for their coach job. So there's a story on Josh Allen. It says Josh Allen has been playing through a broken hand this season. So I don't know if it's his throwing hand or his left hand. I would assume it's the left hand, but that's still a tough injury. So this is what some of the fans are saying. Soon as Lamar closes the gap, he wants injury points. So they're talking about the great performance that Lamar had yesterday. He actually backed up another great performance. Last week he had the 5 touchdowns. So he just keeps coming. Looks like he may be back-to-back MVPs. Then it says broken hand low key means nothing because he's got a wife motivating him. I don't know what that means. Sound like they mine in the gutter. Then it says no, he hasn't. So we got a lot of tough, fans, a tough crowd. Josh Allen is loved by Buffalo, but he's hated by the rest of the league. He's one of those type of players like a Joker over there in NBA. And then also the first time starter is going to be Michael Penix Jr. Looks like they had a prayer before the game. So Kirk Cousins has been very supportive. He knows what it feels like to be in a quarterback battle. Remember him and RG3 back in the day in Washington. So basically, Kirk Cousins has been there motivating him. So we're gonna see how he does. In a team that's fighting for division race and the playoff race, they're behind the Bucks. But today, I got the Falcons Falcons money line because it's the first time starter. It says the fans are saying he got the bag. He can care less about playing for real. That's just a fan talking. A true competitor never feels that way. If you're a football player, you want to play football. That's why I'm happy Coach Prime and also University of Miami with Cristobal and Cam Ward are starting this trend for guys playing in those bowl games. There's no such thing as meaningless football. Because if you don't go hard in practice, you're going to go hard in the real game. It says best helmet in NFL as a Washington fan. Yeah, I like that red Falcon helmet. It reminds me of the Northwest Boys Club. That's why I originally started out, with the Falcons back in the late '90s when I was in elementary school. So as you see, Kirk Cousins will take some time away from team in the offseason to decide what he wants to do for the future. So usually when these guys get benched, they start doing the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if I'll be back. A lot of quarterbacks do that because they have the luxury of doing that. It's only 32 quarterbacks, and I guess 64 number two quarterbacks are backups because most teams only carry 2 quarterbacks. So I guess 32 backups and 32 starters is what 64 in total. Okay, says he could potentially retire, but he'd be leaving a lot of money on the table. He also earned nearly $300 million already. Yeah, but you got to think about taxes. So he earned 150 million plus agents, plus his wife probably spending some of that money. So maybe 50 million of it was his. When you break it down. Now it says Eagles Jalen Hurts is wearing different color cleats again, despite receiving last week's fine. I think Jordan said he's going to pay the fine because he's a Jordan brand athlete. So he has one light green Jordan and one green Jordan. Why don't you just wear the dark green Jordans? Because you don't even have on the light green jerseys. I think that's just being, you know, rebellious. It says NFL cares about the most random things, but when a player commits a felony, they look the other way 90% of the time. No comment. No comment. No comment. Okay. Next person says, I'm doing this because of grace, and I'm going to stand on my beliefs regardless of how much I have to pay because I'm a man of honor and I will not be manipulated. Jalen Hurts. Okay, so somebody's quoting him. Okay, next person says, you'll see the diamonds on the man's. Okay, yeah, y'all see the diamonds on the man's chain. that 5K fine is pocket change to him. Yeah, it's all pocket change until you're 45 years old and those 50 years old, and you got to go to that doctor's office and you're looking for that pension. See, that's the same thing I want to talk about with college football. Let's look up the transfer portal. We got a lot of adults giving kids bad advice saying you don't have to go to school, you don't have to worry about college anymore. And speaker the angel. We ain't gonna say speak of the devil because we godly around here. Coach Prime, Mr. Transfer Portal himself. Don't hop in the portal and think that school doesn't matter because you're not gonna be able to live off $100,000 NIL for the rest of your life. If you don't get picked, or even if you get picked and you get cut 2, 3 years later, you think you, your kid, your wife, your baby mama, whatever, if you had 2, 3 girlfriends, because a lot of these dudes 18, 19 with this money on this college campus, I hope they ain't making no babies. How long you think you're gonna be able to live off that NIL? And rookies in the NFL, unless you top first round, they're not getting paid what they used to get paid 10 years ago. They pay the veterans, but what they do, they cut the veterans and they sign the rookies, and you may get to your second deal. So a lot of the guys are not getting the money you think they're getting. Your longevity is in your education. You should be networking while you're on a college campus. And even with the NFL players, people talking about, oh, he got the money, he not worrying about it. You always have to give 110% no matter what job you're working at. I don't mean to be preachy. I'm just telling you the truth. It's because it's a lot of people that's saying that. Let's see what Coach Prime has said. It says Deion Sanders stated he hasn't spoken to any NFL teams about potentially joining the same franchise as his son Shedeur Sanders. I don't think he's going to the NFL. He's signing 5 stars and 4 stars left and right. He has every intention on becoming a college football legend. Maybe he'll go to the NFL when he's built up more equity and he controls the franchise. Because one thing about Deion, he understands the game and he's not going to be a pawn. Okay, first comment says they just be making up headlines trying to make them sound spoiled. Okay, who ends up having a better rookie year, Travis or Sanders? That's a toss up. That's probably going to depend on teams. It's hit or miss with rookie quarterbacks. And Travis, we got to figure out, is he going to play both ways? I can see both of them doing well. I love you, Deion, but you can't fool me. Hard to believe not a single call has been made your way. But he said he hasn't contacted anybody. I don't think he didn't say that nobody reached out. But Deion is the Don daughter. He don't move on other people's time. You guys gotta know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with certain people. Even though he's a NFL a legend, Deion Sanders is from Florida, and the people down here, they kind of skip to their own beat. So you can't put your sheep type mentality on other people because some people think for themselves. And see what I'm saying? Speaking of Colorado, Joseph Williams. So this is just within the last hour. Transfer receiver from Tulsa. He went from Tulsa to Utah to Colorado. So he just signed with Colorado. He was the AAC Freshman of the Year in 2024. So I think he went from Utah to Tulsa, must be, and then to Colorado, because I think Tulsa is in the AAC. The Utah, they're in the Big 12. But anyway, he's the freshman of the year, so they getting big time players. He got 3 years left. It says, why did he commit to us in the first place? So that looks like a Utah person. So he committed to Utah, but then he flipped. Somebody says he's the dog. All these guys Colorado were big time guys like Eric Rivers, Casey Concepcion, Caleb Odom. It wouldn't make sense to commit, so I guess he just went to Utah. But since none of these guys committed, it's opened up a big spot for him. Yeah, but he's a big time guy too, because some of those guys are just hyped off of high school stuff. He actually was conference player of the year as a freshman, so no, a conference freshman of the year. But fine, AAC is very competitive. That's Memphis, Tulane, Tulsa. You got your South Florida, so it's some ball players coming up out of those programs. Uh, Somebody else says, he's nice. Trust me, Colorado fans, you will like this kid a lot. Okay, so that's going to be the show for today. Sorry for showing up late, but put those picks in, and I'll see you later.